machine is broken.
Hi, how can I help you? You look so weird.
Which year is this?
It's 2022. And are you come from another place? You don't look like local people here.
Yes, I'm from Mars.
Oh my god. So do you would love to hear something about the Can Tho on the earth?
This Can Tho?
Yes.
Can you tell me about your history then?
So my friend Phúc will introduce to you something about Can Tho.
Oh hi, let's go, follow me. When you visit Can Tho, there are a lot of tourist traps in this city, but I think there is a place which you definitely cannot miss, is the Can Tho Museum. The museum is located at number 1 Hòa Bình Pullover Street, Ninh Kiều District, Can Tho City, which is easily accessible. Can Tho Museum is 1 kilometer away from the Ninh Kiều Quay. Starting from Ninh Kiều Quay, you can take a taxi or rent a motorbike to visit the museum. The Can Tho Museum was set up in 1976. It is one of the biggest museums in Mekong Delta with more than 2,000 square meters. And I think it will be an unforgettable memory for you when you come to this wonderful place. So today I would love to tell you about this museum. Let's go. In this presentation, I would like to give you more information related to this first floor of this historical site. So when you first come to this main hall, this is one of the best part of the museum. And when a visitor come here, they can easily see those 5 statues. And behind me, first of all, is Uncle Hồ Chí Minh. And then this is Bùi Hữu Nghĩa, Phan Văn Trị, Châu Văn Liêm, and Lô Hữu Phước. And behind those statues is a bronze picture which illustrates the landscape of the Mekong Delta. This first floor is generally acquainted with the location, weather, and cultures. But now I will emphasize the off-air culture along the Chinese, Vietnamese, Khmer cultures, especially the Can Tho one. By the way, we also mentioned some remarkable features.
Oh, Phúc, have you introduced to our viewer about the main hall yet?
Yeah, I have.
So what's the next part?
So the next part is this Cái Răng floating market. And according to some sources that I have searched about it, this Cái Răng floating market was from in the early of 20th century, and because of the undeveloped roads at that time, most of the residents tended to exchange their products on the river. Since that time, the floating market has become one of the most attractive places for the tourists in Can Tho City. About selling products, the seller will hang their things on a branch called a bamboo tree so that the buyers will be able to see what they are selling. In addition, there's a feature which just few people know about the means of selling. If you pay attention, you can easily recognize that every boat is decorated with 2 eyes. To explain this, the seller in the floating market attach great importance to their boats. That's why most of them usually decorate the boats with eyes so that it will become closer to them. Okay, so I've just told you about the Cái Răng floating market, and here are some old pictures of Can Tho City from the past to now.
Wow, so exciting. What about that?
Oh, here, this site is considered as one of the most important sites of this museum. Here we have the off-air culture, one of the most important culture exists in Can Tho from the 1st century to the late of 7th century. So that's the reason why these items which display here are crucial in terms of researching values as well as the historical witnesses. So the previous part was about the off-air culture, and now I'm going to tell you about the Can Tho culture. It's undoubtedly that Vietnamese culture has become one of the most well-known culture around the world, but not true with the Can Tho ones. And here is some typical wedding clothes of Can Thonians. It's like about for the past 20 years, and also here you can see some type of áo dài, especially here one of the most famous clothes in Can Tho, especially the countryside. It's called the áo bà ba. Here it also displays some money, old Vietnamese money from the past 50 years. And here you can see like small places which called the Nhà Ba Giang or three place house, which it's like one of the most typical famous type of house in the south of Vietnam. And this place is called Bộ Ngựa, and here you can see four people are playing some musical instrument. This type of music called đờn ca tài tử, and it's really it's one of the super hot genre of music in the south of Vietnam in the past. Also here you can see some sofa, and they are made of wood. Moreover, this museum also has some agricultural tools as well as a household tool in order to serve daily purpose.
5 minutes later. Okay, so that's all about the museum. How do you feel now?
I feel thirsty.
Thirsty?
Yes, can we have something to drink?
Yeah, we do. We have a coffee shop right here outside this museum. After visiting this museum, we can enjoy a cup of coffee right outside around this museum. Many trees are planted. What an enjoyable way to have a cup of coffee and take a breath here.
This museum is so amazing. Do many foreigners know about this?
I'm not sure. Why don't we go to another place to interview some foreigners?
Oh, nice idea.
So now me and Phúc are at Ninh Kiều Kỳ in order to start an interview with some foreigner to ask whether they know about Can Tho or not. And I think Phúc will help me to do this section. Let's go.
Yeah, okay, so first of all, can I have your name please? Okay.
Hi, I'm John
Yeah.
from Switzerland.
Switzerland, yeah, nice country. And first question, so what do you think about the Can Tho Museum that you have just saw?
It looks really interesting. It looks like it tells a lot about the story of the Mekong Delta. So it looks like a good place to visit.
Yeah.
Can Tho.
Yeah, so it is a great chance for you to know more about Can Tho.
Yes, I think museums always give a good insight in the history of the place.
Yeah.
And if you visit from far away, it's interesting to see.
Yeah. And would you recommend this museum to your family and friends?
Yes, sure. I think if you're here and you have time and you're not only going to the floating markets, then it's absolutely worth it.
Yeah, so I think that's it. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So thanks for listening to our presentation. And so now our alien has just got enough information about Can Tho City and Can Tho Museum as well. And she just came back to her planet.
And after this presentation, I hope people around the world will know more about Can Tho through this museum. By the way, I just want to mention that we should save our environment in order to avoid massive extinction in the future.